We're in now.
We're in.
Yeah,
Right, I'm not gonna.
I tried that other platform before Christmas and I had an issue with it. Like somebody, I think it was the chap I was on with. There was no sound.
Oh, these things.
So I'm gonna have to like email them and let them know. So
Yeah,
we'll just have a bit of a chat, just a bit of a chit chat today. Got about
cool.
20 minutes. That's probably plenty.
All right, thanks, Joe.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still loading. Look, I can't get into that other site at all.
I'll leave it. I'm not going to use it again. It's don't know what's up with that. To be honest, it's a bit ridiculous. Oh, how are you? Have a good
Mm.
Christmas.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we I don't know if you've seen on my socials. I work on cruise ships as a singer.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I did see that. Wow.
Yeah,
Been anywhere nice?
yeah. We were in the Caribbean.
Stop it.
I know. We yeah. So my wife Sarah came with me because it was Christmas time, and yeah, we
Oh,
went
nice.
out. It was nice, but then from a mental health point of view, it looks like you live in the dream. But if you struggle, if you're not quite right in your head, it's you can be anywhere in the world, can't you?
Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you can be, like you said, you can be on a beach somewhere.
Yep.
But if your headspace isn't there, um, it feels like you're having a battle every day, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
I saw on your social media as well. You don't really drink anymore. You kind of knocked that on the head, the alcohol.
Mm. Yeah. So I'm 4 years. My sober account is called sober-ish
Right.
because I can't preach that I'm completely. I can't touch alcohol again. I didn't quite let myself get to that stage, but that's where it was heading. Um, I'll wrap this up quick. In a nutshell, I still drink before I fly, and if there's turbulence, because I hate it. That was my non-negotiable in my head. So I've managed to be fine with that. As soon as the plane lands, I don't think about it. I get a coffee, and that is my only, because I thought, how the hell am I going to do my job if I put that amount of pressure on myself? Because what happened with me is I'll say, right, I'm teetotal, there's turbulence. I think I'm gonna meet my creator, so I'm gonna drink anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then that's a whole. So yeah, that's my thing. But in terms of everyday living, I'm sober. I don't touch it now.
I'm uh, I'm similar with flying. I hate flying.
Mm,
Um, I probably got a lot better this year. Sorry, last year. But prior to that, I'd have to have 3 or 4 pints before I got on the flight, and maybe one on there as well, just to kind of get me through the flight. I was so anxious.
yeah,
I had a ritual as well. If it was a short haul flight, I'd know like I'll go and waste some time, go to the toilet. That'll kill some time. I'll play 5 or 6 songs. Say it was an hour's flight. I'll play 5 or 6 songs. I'd try and watch like something on Netflix.
yeah,
I didn't have the attention to do it on the flight because like all I could think about, what was that bump?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not good, is
I
it?
know. This is awful. I think that's I think a lot of people have a fear of flying, don't they? Because it's unnatural. So I guess it's just how bad your anxiety can get, I guess, and managing it. But
When did yours start? Like when did you start with it? You think anxiety? Have you had it from being a child or?
yeah, that's so I lost my brother when I was 10 and he was 3 to leukemia.
Wow, yeah. Tough.
So that was like a fundamental age where I was in a weird place in school, doing my SATs and things. I could never quite, I was never really in school because I was always with my family and my brother. Um, and then obviously when Liam passed away, that was when my anxiety was, I think, don't get me wrong, Joe, I think I'll always be a worrier. I think it's part of my personality. It's not,
Yeah.
it's can't put it all on poor Liam and what happened.
Bad thing.
Pardon?
Being a warrior isn't a bad thing either. Can often get you out of
No.
danger.
Yeah. Yeah, just yeah. Um so yeah, that's kind of where I think a lot of it stems from childhood and being stuck in fight and flight when
Yeah.
after Liam passed, my mum and dad were obviously in complete and utter shutdown. But I was 10, so I didn't really know how to manage it all. But then I would say that it really showed its head at the end of drama school, my last year of uni. I had my first panic attack, and that was when I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't quite understand it at that time. Like you feel like you
Mm.
have, say, a heart attack.
Hmm.
You feel like you're dying, don't you? You can
Yeah,
get stuck in that cycle for years, can't you?
yeah.
So what would you say, like when you were at your worst? Like, was it affecting your work, your relationship?
Yeah, if I mean, drink alcohol is a separate topic, so we don't need to go into that. I was using drink to get rid of all the feelings, but then my anxiety, yeah, it was when I think back to I was working in a sports centre as a lifeguard, and it was health anxiety for me, funnily enough,
Right. Yeah.
um, and I couldn't be in work. All I felt like I could do was be under my covers.
Yeah.
That's and I remember saying to the duty manager at the time, I just need to go home. I couldn't even explain how, why, because there was nothing physically wrong with me, but I couldn't function because I just, and people used to laugh at me because I'd say things like, "Oh, my spleen's hurting." They're like, "Steph, what the hell's a spleen? We don't know what spleens are." Like nobody else was worrying about their spleen.
So you know the difficulty with health anxiety I found, like I talk a lot about mine, you get a bit lost on the journey kind of thing. Like you said, the reasons for it is you're stuck in fight or flight for such a long time. I was the same.
Yeah,
And I'd I mean, I'm 38 in a few weeks, but like my parents split up about 11 years ago. And you think when you get older, it gets easier. It's a complete
yeah,
opposite. I'm the eldest of three, but two of my brothers. But I kind of feel like I was holding a heavy weight on my back for years with it all, listening to both sides, the whole um, relationship, the family dynamics afterwards. It went on for years, and I was often thinking about everybody else, but not putting myself first. It's like, what about Joe?
yeah,
And then I bought a house 3 years ago, renovated that. That was dead stressful. My partner's from France. She's keen to move back. We are doing. It's a joint decision. We're going to move there in a couple of years for a better life, really, more balance, better weather, better food. You
yeah.
know, but obviously she was homesick. There's an escalation combination of things, and then I remember when I actually broke down. It was kind of I started with twitching in my left hand, and then I went on Google, and then it was just like that was the catalyst. Then if
Google.
if I hadn't Googled things and I just kind
Yeah,
of would have maybe passed it off, I probably wouldn't have been as bad because I've had stuff like that in the past where I've gone, oh, it'll settle down in a few days. But because I've been stressed for so long, it tipped me over.
yeah,
But then at the same time, I think, let's say I've been running on overdrive for years as well. Like I've just been like non-stop, not thinking about things.
yeah,
Probably
yeah,
needed that to happen. I was thinking about it this morning. Actually, I was thinking, God, I used to work till 9 p.m., 10 p.m. some nights, and then it'd be the same on a Saturday. My whole and sole focus was work and nothing else. Like
yeah,
making a career, like being independent, chasing things. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Some point that had to end. That had to stop. I had to slow down. So maybe I did need it. But I think when you want answers, like I just wanted to know I was going to be okay. Like I never went through any physical testing, as in like MRIs and stuff like that. I just had physical tests.
yeah.
I was booking private neurology appointments. I was booking GP appointments, private physio appointments. And they're all like, "You're okay. We don't want to refer you for tests because there's no red flags."
Oh, I've
You
been
know,
there. Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. And I think if you have a good doctor from the off who understands your situation
yeah,
and can actually explain what a dysregulated nervous system can do and what symptoms you can experience,
yeah,
I think that kind of helps you on recovery. Where if you, on the other hand, if I've know people, doctors that have just referred people for testing and they've not quite understood the situation. Like I remember when I was getting tension at the time, and I didn't know if it was safe to go to the gym. I didn't know what I could and couldn't do. And he went, knowing that I've got OCD, he went, just take some paracetamol and ibuprofen. I actually said to him, I said, have you actually looked at my history? Like, I've got OCD. Like, why? I could say, right, I'm going to become dependent on that, and then it could become something stronger.
Yeah.
But pain medication is just a plaster. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah. No, I can just relate so much. Health anxiety was and I think, like you just said, having a good doctor is what's important. And I was very lucky with my GP, because when I was at my lowest, I was convinced I had leukemia. I had my DVDs ready to go into hospital. I was living. My mum's friend, who's a GP, said to me, Steph, you might as well have it. You are living like a cancer patient. But in Steph's head, I couldn't see logic. And this was before I went on antidepressants. This was probably the lowest then, because I've never been suicidal. I haven't. I felt feelings of, oh my gosh, I'd rather not be here than live like this. Don't get me wrong, because it was hell. But yeah. So I went to the doctors. Me and my mum went up there. I had a list of all my symptoms. And Dr. Don, he just looked at me and said, yeah, you need to go on. Now is the time to go on citalopram. Because my parents were like, oh, you're so young. I think it was, I don't like to guess, but it must have been late teens, early 20s that I started antidepressants. And they tried to protect me from them until then, because of course they're amazing, but they didn't want me going on them too young. But they gave me my life back. For the first, I'd say, 10 years I was on that particular drug. Really helped me see logic, see the light then, I guess.
Yeah. You're able to do the work. I can find similarities with that. I ended up getting put on sertraline, which is Zoloft in America, isn't it? But I needed it at the time because I couldn't rationalize what was actually happening. Like, I had a really good psychologist. I had 7 or 8 sessions of EMDR. At the time, I thought this was a load of rubbish, and she kept going on about, because I was going from fight or flight all the time. She wanted to get me into what she called soothing mode. So that's your parasympathetic, into rest and digest. So I'm able to relax. And I was like, what's she talking about? Like, I didn't quite understand what she kept going on about all this stuff before. And I remember saying to me, she works with people where, because obviously you do that work and then you go on to the reprocessing of the difficult, if it's trauma, emotions, which is often people get to that and they don't need to do that. So maybe I didn't subconsciously. I had 6 to 8. I might have had 7 or 8 sessions. I can't remember. And then I kind of stopped. I think on the 6th session I went on sertraline, it started to take the edge off things. But being a therapist for years as well, I understood that I couldn't just solely rely on the sertraline to try and get me through this. It was just that I looked at that. Right, I'm going to stay on this for 6 months, and I ended up coming off them after 4 months. But I understood, whilst I was on it, I had to do the other work, and I had to kind of lean into what is uncomfortable. I have to feel uncomfortable emotions, and your body still produces a whole host of symptoms. Like, it's like a computer, isn't it? It's still trying to recalibrate. So I had loads of symptoms. I had ringing in the ears, dizziness. I had a whole host of symptoms that I couldn't make sense of, which went over time. I don't know about you, but even like with muscle tension, like I remember, because you can get tension from, like, I exercise a lot, so I'm going to get tension from that. You can get tension from stress. You can get it being from sat at a desk all day. And it took me ages to decipher that this wasn't dangerous, that, okay, there's a little bit of my nervous system's still recalibrating. And then there's also a little bit of that I am training. So, I've just got to kind of lean into it. You've got to kind of live your life, even though it feels uncomfortable. My advice to people is, like, I think it's hard, obviously, when you're in it, isn't it? I withdrew from all like physical activities because I thought there's something wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. And again, I was lucky. Like I'm friends with. I remember chatting to. I had a few sessions with an American mind and body physical therapist. He was
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, I can't even lie. He was brilliant. Like we're friends now. But he got me training again. He got me believing in himself. It's mindset for me. It's mindset. If you want to get better, if you want to heal, you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to want
Yeah.
to do it. If you, on the other hand, if you feel like there is something, you've had all these tests, they've all come back clear, but you still feel like there's something wrong with you,
Mm.
you're not going to heal. It's all about your mindset. You've got to understand your situation that, right, X, Y, and Z has happened in the past. This is why I've got a dysregulated nervous system. It's not just health anxiety. There's stuff like you said, you had your brother.
Yeah.
I was part of my mum and dad's divorce. I won't talk about my dad doing therapy, but
Yeah.
he had he still has. I don't speak to him, but he has a problem with alcohol.
Right.
Self-sabotager, did it for years.
Yeah.
Impossible to have a relationship with somebody like that to the present day.
Yeah.
So I'm not teetotal, but I've got a much better relationship with alcohol. A little trick I used to do was if I knew I was going out with friends and it was going to be like like a big night, I like pints, but I drink halves.
Yeah.
So I could have 6 halves, which would be 3 pints, or if I had seven, as long as I'm having no more than 3 or 4 pints equivalent, I'd be okay with that. But like I used to drink heavily.
Yeah.
As a doctor, my obviously my other half living with me, she'd see that and stuff, and she'd say, if you don't change, I'm going.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't know if you had any of that with the drink and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Sarah, my wife, and I've been together for 13 years. We've been married 1 year. There is a bit of an age gap. She's 15 years. She'd hate me saying this. 15 years older than me. Um, she doesn't look it. She's the best.
Yeah.
But I guess I've always been attracted to older because I don't know why really, but
Maybe you feel
we've
safe.
yeah, there's probably an element of that. I mean, my parents are my world. I've got a great relationship with my mum and dad. That we
I
are
do. My
just
mum. Yeah, I'm
good.
the same with
It's
my mum. Yeah.
yeah, it's just the three of us. Brian also know how alcohol can change people. Um, but yeah, it was through COVID. I had a problem with drink for ever since I started using it to numb anxiety. So
Yeah.
around the time I went on antidepressants, I remember being in Ibiza on a girls' holiday, and my mental health was so bad. I I just wanted to go home. I couldn't. You can't explain it to people. People look at you and think, "Oh, for goodness sake!" Especially when we're younger. I don't expect my friends to understand. A lot of them do now because they've gone through their own trauma. But back at that age, it was just like, "Oh, here she goes again,"
Yeah.
and that's no blame on anyone. Unless you've been through it, you can't. People don't understand, and that's great for them.
No, you can't. You can't. And I think at that age, we don't really have the insight at that age, and your friends don't either. They don't really understand. You
No, of
know,
course.
it's often you don't develop that until you get older, do you? So that was kind of like a horrible kind of experience where you felt it's like you stepped out. You say like you stepped out of your body, and you're like, what the hell, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Sorry, Joe. Go back to your question. Yes, Sarah did. She called my parents and was like, she's got a problem with drink, and it it got worse through COVID, where that was when we all had an excuse to drink in the morning, or we all had. And I knew I was killing myself. I knew, at that point, I was like, oh well, if she leaves me, she leaves me. I'll just go home to my mum and dad's, lock myself in my room with a can of 12 cans of
Yeah,
Strongbow.
yeah,
And that, when I look back, sometimes we have to reflect and be like, whoa, where
yeah,
could this have gone? Because alcohol, I'm such a liability. Like, a, I mean, Joe, you sound like you've got more control with it. And
yeah.
everybody's different. It's a spectrum, like, in my opinion. We're all made differently. So if you can moderate, if you can do that, brilliant. And if I could, I would. If I
Yeah.
could enjoy a couple on the weekend with Sarah, I would still do that. But I know I've proved to myself, Steph's, I'm talking in third person, my head doesn't,
Yeah, I know.
allow me to do that. It's
I
1
understand.
to 100. But yeah, Sarah was like, this is it. And she always says the only thing we would have split up over was your drinking.
She'd have supported you with the health anxiety, which she
Oh my
probably
gosh, she's
did, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, this is that's what you needed. Like my partner's been the same, really, really supportive with
Good.
the anxiety and stuff. Like she's still with me today. When I went through, at first it was hard for her. She really struggled, but obviously, she understood then. It's not easy for anybody supporting a partner with it. I can completely imagine. But going back to alcohol, I think if you can't have a good relationship with it, don't do it. Because I thought I was getting like yourself there. I thought I'm gonna have to quit altogether. It took me a while to kind of. I enjoy a pint, but I'm aware now that I can't afford to go out and drink. Like I could drink 10, 11 pints. It could be 3, 4 in the morning. There's no off button there.
Yeah.
And it does. It just you don't need it either. You shouldn't need that. I think the problem as well, like I've come across a lot of people when I started making these changes, they'd say to you, "Oh, you're not having a drink tonight," or "Have a drink, let your hair down." I wouldn't dream of saying that to somebody now.
No.
If they come out and they said they weren't drinking, I wouldn't go, "You're soft for not drinking," or I just wouldn't say anything. It might be I might just say, "Oh, do you want or if I was offering them around, do you want a pint?" And they might say, "I'm not drinking." I'd be like, "All right, what do you want?" That's it. I wouldn't start questioning why they're not the choices.
Do you think that's something that's changed over time with all the awareness out there now?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
It's becoming less and less. I mean, I used to have you get peer pressure from family it's probably going back about 10 years ago. If I came out and I said I was driving, I'm not drinking, have a drink. Why aren't you drinking all night? I'm like, why are you pressuring me to have a drink? Is it because you don't want? Have you got an issue? It's like, why do you feel the need to pressure me? It's my choice, my body.
It's kind of like the only thing I can relate it to is the smoking days when nobody was aware of what it was causing. And I definitely feel like we're going that way with alcohol now more than ever, that people are aware of the risks and our mental health and how sacred that is to look after that part, more than anything really. And yeah, there's a lot more awareness. There's so much more alcohol free options out there. I mean, I travel the world for jobs and I'm always like, oh, like in Tokyo, what's their best non-alcoholic? And Sarah, bless her, she's had some health issues, so she doesn't drink now really.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's like with you. Is he your wife, Joe, or your partner?
Well, 10-year engagement.
Oh,
we're talking about we're engaged, but we're talking about getting married next year. We're trying to
lush.
yeah. So hopefully, if all goes well, yeah, we'll try and tie the knot. It's been a long time coming.
There's no rush. We were together for it took Sarah 11 years to propose to me.
Really. So
Yeah.
there you go. Hopefully, she'll watch this back.
Yeah.
She'll take something from it. It's just. I think they do some nice 0% options. Like I went to the cinema with a pal. Like he's not a big drinker. We went up in November or something to watch Predator, the new Predator movie, and we tried the 0% Corona. It was really nice. I was surprised at. We had a couple of them. I thought this is pretty good. So they
Put a
do
bit of lime in the top. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's good options. Like I couldn't really taste the difference. If I have a pint, I tend to have a Guinness, probably because of my Irish heritage. But I do like a Guinness now and again, but I just don't tend to go crazy anymore. And I think it's really led to me where I am today, really. But I don't. If you do. I do a lot of so during the week, I'll try and stop and pause and kind of doing a bit of emotional repressing work, processing stuff that's gone on in the week. It might be, is there anything I need to change, stress, stuff like that? How's the job going? I don't think I was doing enough of that before. I tend to do that weekly now. It really does
definitely
help.
I had a breakdown well, August just gone. I was on a ship. Sarah was with me. This past 2025 wasn't very nice. I lost a close friend to suicide through mental health, who's in the industry as well, a performer. That obviously knocked me for six. I had other things going on, big, massive life changes. I'm trying to think what. Yeah, financial things I needed to sort. So like, yeah, there was a lot. And it all just came to a head. But like you said before, you're so busy. I mean, my career in this entertainment industry is blinking hard, and our nervous systems are constantly like that.
Up and down, yeah, up and
You're
down.
always waiting for the next yes. You're always thinking, well, what can I do better? But I'm trying now to think, as long as I'm living true to myself,
Yeah.
I'm not playing games. I'm just myself. That's all. That's brings me the most peace. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That being said, I got to earn money and I got to feel creatively fulfilled.
This is
So it's
it.
just getting like speaking to you today
It's
fills
like
me
a,
create.
yeah, for
It's
me
a
as
good.
well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the breakdown. I thought, Joe, what was the question? Did you even ask me a question?
All
Did I just
right.
butt in?
Yeah, I've forgotten now. We
Oh,
what we're talking about? Yeah, we're talking about the break. You had a breakdown, didn't you? Carry on
yeah,
as we are.
August.
Fine. I love a bit of here, there, and everywhere. I'm fine with
Oh,
that.
good. Welcome to my head.
Yeah, it's
Sarah,
me.
so I was like, whoa, what about now? What you just start sentences in the middle of the sentence that you've already started in your own head. Um Bless her. She needs a medal.
Thank
Um
you.
yeah, at the breakdown, I mean that was phew, I was on sertraline when that happened. Um but my nervous system went enough, we can't do this anymore, and just collapsed. So I was in bed for the week shivering. My honestly, Joe, my stomach, my digestive system was shot. Um, Appetite completely gone. And it was the first time that I felt proper depression. I felt that cloud, which up until then I just had I would say just generalized anxiety disorder I've been diagnosed with.
Same, I had that. Yeah, but then it becomes
Yeah.
something else, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. It's like that. The same to me. Like knock me out completely. Like you're tired, aren't you? And one thing people always ask me is like, how when I work with people, say, how long do you think it will take? I can't give you that. Can't give you that answer. Like everybody's nervous system's different. Some people can take weeks. Some people can take months. Some people can take a year. Some
Yeah.
people can take a few years before they return. Like you said before, it's like up and down, like a wave. But like I always say, recovery looks like you're doing the things that you love, but you know you can get symptoms, but you just kind of go right. I accept they're here, but they'll pass. This isn't permanent. And I like what you said before. You know about the job situation. Jobs are stressful, right? But we've got to earn money because we have to live. And I find social media a bit of a minefield, and I don't tend to look at what other people are doing. I kind of stick to what I'm doing
Yeah.
because I have seen posts in the past where they've put about how stress can be dangerous and your nervous system is going to be amplified if you continue to work in a high demand job and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's woolly as fuck. That's so woolly. Because like, what are you telling people? Have they got to change the job, or have they got to quit the job, or if they stop working, does that mean the nervous system will recover? That is
Exactly.
absolute bullshit. Because
Yeah.
in an ideal world, we'd love that. We'd love not to work and just get paid for it, and then the nervous system will change overnight. But for me, yeah, my job's stressful. But if I sat on my arse all day, not doing anything, I'd just ruminate over things.
Mm,
But you can rebuild your stress resilience over time, And what I mean by that is, get better at being assertive in work,
yeah.
take more holidays, don't take on too much. And then, maybe it's possible to change roles, go to another job. You're like, that's for me, that's building stress resilience, looking after your mindset. Well, that's mindfulness, exercising. But I think for anybody watching it or seeing advice like that, it's just so woolly
Oh
because it's
yeah.
just you can't. Yeah, you can't just quit your job because it's too stressful. It's impossible. Like, and I also find as well, like, I do podcasts with a lifestyle doctor. He's a mate now, and he's really good. He's really good. Like, you've probably seen him on my social media. But like, we've talked about, if you're going to have time off from work, make sure it's productive. If you are going to have a couple of weeks off work, again, rather than sitting in your arse and ruminating, like, plan some things like it's walking, exercises, going to the cinema. I'd fill my week in because distractions are often the best thing rather than ruminating over things. And that's what it looks like, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's your take on that? What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I struggle rumination. Oh, another thing as well, that which is a new thing I've gained. Like you said, you suffer with OCD
Yeah.
and rumination since the breakdown. I work. So when I do my job on the ships, I'm on my own most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone else is in a holiday environment. I'm with me and my own thoughts.
Yeah.
And I think it's caught up with me a little bit, the rumination. Like, I'm the worst. And like ChatGPT can also be quite dangerous.
Don't get me started on that. That is, yeah, you can, that in itself. I use that for, I'm using it, I use it for my, I'm cutting some calories down. So I'm just going to lose 3 or 4 kilos, but I've got a healthy relationship with doing that.
Yeah.
But if you are using it to support your mental health, that can become a bit of a compulsion, because
Massively.
I nearly fell into that trap of using it 24 hours a day. But the problem with that, right, you're probably going to agree with me now as well, because I think, is that reassurance for people like us, it's not great, really, unless you are, when you do them, if you're doing like yoga nidra, mindfulness, emotional reprocessing, you're reassuring the brain that it's safe, and it starts talking to your body, and then the sensations. That's different. But if you're reassuring yourself through ChatGPT because you've got a symptom, am I damaged? You're going to do it for everything. So that becomes a compulsion then. Every little twinge or feel in the body, you go to ChatGPT and you ask it. So my advice is to come away from that.
Yeah.
And again, whilst we're on let's call it support groups, I've never been in any of these Facebook support groups, but I think they're quite difficult to be part of, because I think there's a lot of people with reassurance behaviours in there, and you can kind of become attached to that, and that just fuels the fear cycle.
I completely agree. And we're lucky that we're both self-aware with that, because in the breakdown, I think I put every single thought into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, and I deleted it. I thought, what are you doing? Delete it. This isn't helping. Like, speak to a human being. I know it's difficult, and it's not, the help isn't out there as much as it probably should be for everyone, and I get that. And to find a good therapist can be expensive. But there are great therapists on the NHS if you speak to the right doctor and can refer you. And I think just surround yourself with good people and good friends with good values and morals, and just be guided by those people. I mean, and trust yourself. I think that's the biggest thing since August. I've had to be like, right, rebuild my brain after the breakdown and trust all the decisions I've made and were because I believe in myself, and I made them for a reason,
I agree that, and that's not cliche one bit. Like, and that includes your family. Like I say, like, me and my mum, we didn't used to have a good relationship before my breakdown, but now it's brilliant. It's amazing. We set boundaries with each other.
Yeah.
We've got a really good relationship now. The family that I have got involved in my life, it's great. Again, same as what you were talking about. My friendship groups have gone smaller because I want to surround myself with people that are positive, that don't overload their problems on me all the time. Don't get me wrong, I will be an ace for people, but not all the time. Like, I've had to narrow things down a bit, and that really helps you with your recovery as well. I think that's really important, and I think as well. there could be a bit more information on the NHS Choices website, about symptoms and stuff like that. I think it's very vague, isn't it? I don't know if you've looked when you were going through it. I remember having a look at NHS Choices to look at like generalized anxiety and health anxiety. It's quite woolly. But again, there is some really good therapists with the NHS. I obviously worked for them for a while. I had really good training with the NHS. It was my bread and butter, really. But again, like you can't when you have your breakdown, whatever it is, whatever symptoms you're experiencing. My advice to people would be not to rush into therapy. Like, do it when you're ready, because, like, again, it's a mindset thing. If you are rushing into therapy because you think there's something broken or structurally wrong with you, it's going to put your brain back on high alert. You got to do it when you're in a more settled state. That's why when I went on sertraline, it kind of got me into the mindset where I was able to work with a therapist and do the other work. But I think if you're not, don't rush it. Like, I've got a mentor that I see. I've not seen her for a while, but she kind of helps me with my day-to-day stuff. But I remember saying to me at the time when I had my breakdown, she was saying, she recommended some therapists for me to work with, but she said, like, don't feel you need to rush into making a decision with these. They might not be the right fit. And just kind of, you'll know when the time is right, and you'll find the right therapist eventually that will help you work through your blocks. I think that's kind of the best thing to do, isn't it?
That's great advice. Yeah. Like, I've heard people's friends of mine say, "Oh, I've been to therapy, it didn't work," and then I say, "Well, you have to find the right. We're humans. We have to find the right fit as a therapist. You're a therapist. You're still a human being. If you haven't got that connection and you don't think it's going to work, there are others out there that you will find and think, right, this is my person that straightens me out and helps me."
Gets you back on the straight and narrow again. It's like, I agree. I think it's got to be the right fit. And I think people expect miracles in the sessions. Like, healing happens out of therapy. Like, I always say that to people. I say, like, if we're doing a session together, this is what it's going to look like. But if you're not doing the work, like, out of sessions, whatever the work is, whether could be getting back to work or something around exercise or going on holiday. If you're not doing them things, then you're not healing. You're giving you the tools to do it, but you're not doing it out of work. So, and then because I've read it, I've seen a lot of people post, I've had CBT and it just didn't work for me. Like you said, there's factors, might not be the right therapist, and you probably aren't doing the work outside, and you've got to feel the feel. You've got to lean into what's uncomfortable to get better. And that's bloody hard for anybody doing it. It's so hard, but that's
rewarding.
Yeah.
And it's always even harder to be stuck in the cycle of not sorting stuff out and then numbing it with drink or wherever else you use to numb. That's, in my opinion, that will always be the dark side. And this side is the rewarding. I have we all have tough days. We all have hard days. My mental health hasn't been great at all lately since the summer. It's probably, like, Sarah's been with me coming up 13 years and she's never seen me like this. I've seen me like this before we met, like when I thought I had leukemia and my health anxiety was taken. I was in A&E every other week, being assessed by a professor who gave me diazepam and said, just take these, don't come back here. Do not come back here again, just take these.
Don't come back again. I think that's what a lot of bless the medical professionals these days, like consultants and doctors. I think you get these people that will go and have thousands, not thousands, that's exaggerated, but they'll have several tests or maybe more. They'll keep going back for tests. The doctors can't find anything wrong, and then they give them a label, and it's kind of, they haven't got the time, and they don't have the time to explain it's a nervous system dysregulation. You need to do X, Y, and Z. Again, it's a mindset thing. They don't think that they can get better, so they just keep going back and going back until they get. It's like they want the doctor to say there's something wrong with you. There's your label. Now you know.
Yeah.
Like, just believe it's a dysregulated nervous system. Believe that, and believe that you can get better. That's the mindset shift. But it's hard, obviously. It's for a lot of people who don't believe that they can get better, and they stay stuck in the cycle for many years.
And I'm passionate about people using the wrong things then to try and make them feel better, which we all know is like pouring gasoline on a fight. Like, it's going to make it worse. And that's, yes, sometimes I live in hell, and maybe the last couple of months my head has been like this. But the old coping mechanisms, which people do, using alcohol, I'm telling you now, is just adding to your problems for a few seconds of relief, or like half an hour of relief.
You get a quick dopamine hit, don't you? But then again, it puts you back in. Well, alcohol, it puts you back in fight or flight. It increases your sympathetic nervous system. So you get a whole host of symptoms again. Like you said, you might feel great for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, but you're back in fight or flight again. Then it's a plaster.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to life. Diet, exercise. I'm a massive advocate for them kind of things. Like you said, having healthy relationships with people. Work's never easy, is it? Work's stressful. There's no job out there that isn't stressful.
No.
Every job has its stresses, but you've got to kind of make. I had 2 weeks off at Christmas. It was amazing. Like, it helped me reset, and then you start back on the new year, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You're like, I need to change my job. I can't do this anymore. I probably have, you have a day like it happens. Like, because I still do, obviously I do my private clinics, but I still do some locum work for a local authority. So you start and you think, what the fuck? I've got all these cases, and what am I going to do? And I can't do this anymore. It lasts about a day, and then I'm fine.
Exactly.
Reset again.
Exactly. And that's another thing that can really annoy me about social media. And I know myself, because I'm one of these people who post the quotes half the time, but there's so much information out there on, just be free, just go and you deserve this. Yeah, but this is a computer. This is more than that. Like, there are other people's emotions involved. There are people relying on you financially. Life isn't, if we all just lived off credit cards, didn't care about it, what kind of world would this not,
You wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't. I've seen stuff like that on social media. I quit my job, my 9 to 5, and now I'm a full-time coach living in I don't know, think of somewhere sunny like Tuscany, or got to work because I've got off my brother's wedding in Tuscany. Yeah, so anywhere like that. Yeah, I quit my 9 to 5, and now I'm a full-time coach earning £10,000 a month. Right? Okay, I'm sure you're not, but.
And how long did it take these people?
Yeah.
Success takes an awful lot of.
I've been doing my private work. For anyone going in, somebody asked me a while back. I was doing some work with them, and they asked me how long have I been doing it. They were a social worker, but they can go into what I'm going into, because I've done some work in acceptance and commitment therapy. So you don't have to get any formal qualifications in that, because you've already got. You're a member of the HCPC, Healthcare and Professional Council. But they were like, I want to go into that. And I'm like, I just was honest with them. I said, it isn't that easy. I've been doing this for 4 years. And it's, I've only started to see the benefits of it in the last 7 or 8 months.
Right.
In terms of everything's clicking. But it took me nearly 4 years to do that. That's what people don't see outside of what you're doing. Yeah, it's a graft, and there's been a lot, like you said, there's been a lot of breakdowns along the way. I'm like, why am I doing what I'm doing? And it's great, but at the end of the day, enjoy helping people. Same with you, you're saying you're helping people, on the cruise ships, it's entertainment, isn't it? You get dopamine from that. That helps you with your journey as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Rewarding, isn't it?
That's why I set the alcohol page up. Yes, it's vulnerable, but it's my truth. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really that sounds really.
No.
That's my truth, man. Put it out there. But it is though, and it does help me. And sometimes I feel a weight lifted. I think, oh, because I don't go to AA or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of my little thing of right. You put it out there now. We're okay. We've cleared that up. This is your life.
Yeah, sure. No, it's good. It's good.
I know. Yeah.
Right, we'll wrap it up, I think.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
We'll do another one soon. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that. I could have spoke for hours.